See, this would have had all lead joints in it. All the seams were welded, they were all leaded together. And all these sheds were full of cars, at one time, and he just had a tremendous collection of it. And it was a hobby and a career, He started with a little bit of nothing and a mechanic, worked on tractors and stuff and bicycles, I believe, when he was real small. Yeah, when they bought this place, there wasn't running water, I don't even think a sewer in here. Very little stuff here. Look, there's even a car on a silo here. See it?
Yes.
WP. Well, that was built here because Elmer bought this, I think, in 60 something, late 60s, early 60s. See, hiking tours. See, I mentioned it was hiking tours.
Yeah, I like that. Hundreds of cars in all their rusted glory. That's cool.
That's the hood from something. I remember we were kids, I said, how many times we came up here to Elmer's to get parts? Sometimes we need a lot of fenders. I don't know why we needed fenders.
A couple days later, the young guy was calling for a
rear end, making them J's. My cousin backed all the way from Independence to Dodge. He only had reverse left. I go up to Elmer's, Studebaker, $15 for a transmission. Almost ran him out of transmissions. I don't know how many we put in. Back across the gutter someplace, and a couple wrenches, we pulled the tranny out, put another stick in it. Back on the road. But in those days, you could interchange. Yeah, nowadays you got a Kaiser or an Etzel. I mean, that's what you got to buy as parts for a Kaiser or Etzel because there's no interchange in this darn thing. Well, welcome. Today I says our history file is a little bit different than normal. Ordinarily, we got to dig up a lot of facts and do a lot of fact finding. Today I said we are actually in a place where they're still making history. And we're going to document a little thing out of our jurisdiction. We're in Buffalo County.
That's all right. Buffalo County's good.
Well, we got to watch the jurisdiction police. We sometimes slip over into Buffalo County, Jackson County, and they get a little excited because we're not in Trempealeau County. But today we're up on Fountain City Ridge, and we're at a popular place that many, many, many people have heard of. We're at Elmer Auto Salvage here at Fountain City Ridge. And today I says his son here, Brad, is with us today. We're going to do a brief tour of some of the things that Elmer had. He's passed away, I said, but he was a tremendous collector. He was seen on TV. He's been nationally known. Mike Wolf from
Pickers.
American Pickers would always call Elmer. When it come to a paddle car, he was the man with the information. But not only did he run a salvage yard, he ran different businesses in town. He worked, I says, as a child in his father's garage. And he always was interested in mechanics, racing, anything to do with cars.
Any with wheels. And continued.
And it continued into his adult age. And as an adult, he got the idea that, there was a lot of things that he kind of missed in life as a child. Because he came from a hard thing.
He's the third youngest of 8 kids.
Yes.
His mom died when he was 7. So they had nothing.
Yeah. He started, so he says he also collected toys. And he started with a few toys, and then he just kept them for himself, and his collection grew. And it also grew, and it grew. So today we're going to look at some of that collection. We're going to talk a little bit about early history. Right now, today, we're in the house here with Brad. This is Elmer's home. And I said right behind us is a piece of furniture you don't ordinarily see in every home.
What do you mean? I grew up with a car in the house.
What?
Did you?
Well, I've seen a few cars in a home, but they were not put in there intentionally.
Okay, yeah.
So could you please maybe tell us what we're looking at here and how in the world did you guys get this in here?
So it's a 1929 Model A Phaeton. My dad purchased this and another car back in the mid-70s. He brought the two cars home. The first one was a 33 Rolls Royce, and beautiful, beautiful car. And it put it in the museum. When Mom saw the Rolls Royce, beautiful car, but he brought this one home a month later or so, parked it in the shed. Because he'd have money allocated for toys for collecting at that point in time. And so when Mom saw it about a month and a half later, roughly, she said, "That's nice to put in the house." Well, Dad took Mom literally on that quote. And within 2 years, they built an addition on the house. There's a fake wall behind Indian heads, arrowheads, and you bring it in from the garage. So the car's been in here since mid-70s. We figured the last time it was taken out in 1980, so it has not left the house since the 80s.
It's just a wonderful automobile, I says, and Elmer had a collection here. I'm not sure how many vehicles he had, and they were sold here after he passed on by the family. I said, because that was his wish. He says to share what he had with the world.
Yeah.
It wasn't just all just to keep it for me. Tri-oval, I said, now I said it's changed a little bit, but
It changed a lot. It's not a tri-oval anymore. It's oval.
I said it has been history here in western Wisconsin. Well, people were a little bit hard on the paddle sometimes, let's put it that way.
Well, so the yellow one, that's me racing. That had been Arcadia,
Mm-hmm.
Fox Ridge. So that had been
Yeah.
the last night they were open, I won the feature.
Not sure what they're working on there.
So I'm talking about downtown.
Yeah, the square bit. I said, I know that some vehicles disappeared, but some, I said, were no longer being required for parts. And they've been salvaged right back to the last frame, so there's nothing to save. So you can't hang on to everything, but I said, one thing I said Elmer always had was parts for just about any vehicle. And if you were lucky, it came in the right color.
That's still a bonus nowadays, that too. Had pedal cars, big cars, motorcycles, signs. It was packed with other things, not what. When you go in there, you're gonna see something totally different now. So after Dad passed away, after the big auction in '22, Dad had surplus toys, I call them. He had stashes and stashes and stashes, not hundreds, thousands of pieces. So we racked the barn, showcased it, and we filled it. And we refilled the toy shop. It's like after the auction, there were 69 holes. There were 69 pedal cars still in the toy shop. So we filled all those in. And then since '22, we've had 5 toy auctions and 3 surplus sales. So after every time I've refilled. So there's more toys on display now than when Dad was here. He always told us he could build a 60 by 120 racket and show it with toys, fill it. He wasn't exaggerating.
Yeah.
I believe him. I didn't believe him then, but after,
And probably a little story behind this, I'm not sure.
yeah, there's a story behind everything. So when Dad had it, we had a flying saucer here. And a good friend of his name is Lenny, Dad gave it to him and made it into a carnival ride. It was a carnival ride, but it had pots and pans on it. It looked absolutely horrendously horrible. And this gentleman made it look spectacular. So after the big auction, this flying saucer was gone. We called up Lenny. Hey Lenny, we got a problem. We have no entry piece because we're going to redo the toys.
Mm-hmm.
So we send him the wagon, and what do you want to do with it? It's your choice. Do whatever you want. He made the stand. All the different kinds of artwork, you know, the painting schemes. And, so just phenomenal.
I said there's a lot of talent, but I said, we're slowly losing all the craftsmen that used to do a lot of this stuff.
Yep.
I said, now it's a specialty art. Before, everybody was a jack of all trades, I think.
Yeah.
You know.
So another thing that Dad was really into was Fountain City memorabilia, local business memorabilia. So in there is Fountain City, Winona, Cochrane, the local surrounding area.
Fontainebleau.
Yep. Then there's other showcases in here and in the house that have more memorabilia, and there's still more that's still put away that there's no room.
Yeah, if nobody would save that history, it would all be totally lost. I says, I know when they have a few farm auctions there, people come from quite a distance, I says, because it's got one or two little bottles on there. I
Yep.
said, I'm sure when your dad had his auction, there were people came from a long ways here
Well, we
to
didn't sell any.
try to acquire.
The Fountain City memorabilia, local memorabilia, was never for sale, and it'll stay in the family because it'll stay for Fountain City eventually. It is part of Fountain City.
Because like I said, even like for the cars and that, people came from hundreds of miles away.
I've never heard this name before, Schwark. That's a different one, Fountain City, okay.
So in this building, the only thing that stayed the same was the tool room. We never touched that.
The old broad axes, I believe there's a left and a right and a straight
Yeah,
on the edge of the blade. I think they're all made like for notching the
logs.
logs of the
Or peeling them,
cabins.
skinning them. And then I found a pair of doors from one of the buildings. All buildings, so it's Keel's old business.
Yeah,
And that's what I said, that they needed parts, I said you could always find them, and you still can find them up here by Elmer's. But I said, this museum is just a collection of things that probably will never be acquired again. A lot of the old farms and places where they came from, they're long gone.
They're gone, yep.
They're combined, and I said, the guy that saved them, I said, he's long gone too, so. Some stuff is donated, and some has been acquired other ways, but
So everything you see, how Dad purchased it, handshake, word of mouth. No internet, no sitting there pushing a button.
yeah.
That was every day, all the time.
That's what I said. We came up here, I said that he was always on the ball and he remembered everything. He knew where it came from. And he said, and he was the type of person he could talk to anyone.
Yeah.
I don't know if, maybe you guys as children didn't realize that, growing up with a dad like that, but he was, anybody could talk to him about any topic and he was able to talk about it. He could carry conversation on, but he always had the mentality behind it, he said that business is still business. He said, we're going to get some stuff done today, and he was always looking for more. He had ambitions people could not contemplate.
So everything on the main floor and then the first two layers of toys are all new after Dad passed away. The racks up on top, the toys on top, those were there when he was here. But everything from like the bicycles on down, this is all family's effort to put together to show more of what he had.
Well, like I said, it's just amazing. I said, the stuff that he acquired, I said, every item has a history behind it.
Toasters.
yeah. I'm big toasters.
They came from good friends of my dad's, Gap and Lucy. They're from the East Coast.
It's just unreal. What can you tell us here about this Viking boat here? This looks like something, we just did a thing on Blair, and that's where all the Norwegians were.
Yeah,
This is from Henry Marsh, and I would have to read it also, just as you did. Gwen. So
He
the
was
Viking ship he
from
built from scratch,
Winona.
and he also built the copper case with the marble on
Yeah.
top. So this is actually supposed to sit on top of there.
Boy, the work it took to design
And
this.
this is not the only one he's built. He's built other ones too.
Is he still alive?
I'd say no.
No.
Yeah, I was
He's
looking,
he's aged out.
I was looking if there was a date on here, and I didn't see a date.
I'm sure he owes the Viking ship.
Not sure.
Huh.
Yeah, I said that handcrafting, I said it's a lost art, but I said, look at the work and time it took in this. But I said, to find out that he had a piece like this for the museum. I said, look at the cars, they're all different wind-ups, some made in Japan, some made in the United States.
Made all over the world.
Country you could think of, they're here, representing
And
how
there's-
many hundreds of years.
And there's more. There's so much more. We'll get to them. It's like when the people come up, you guys are the right age.
Wooden wheels.
Wooden wheels. So a lot of people, wooden wheel. What are you talking about? Wooden wheel on a bicycle? They don't know anything about
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So you show them the wooden wheel. As an antique piece, this is not worth much
Yeah,
at all.
but it's history.
But as a history and an educational piece, it's worth a lot. Because you look at the different kind of rubber. Oh, it's,
Natural rubber.
yep, natural rubber. And then this one here, how they did the patch job. So there's a tube here, and it has 7 different patches. So,
Still, yeah,
well, you're talking World War II.
you couldn't get any rubber.
Right. So my
Couldn't buy a
dad,
new tire.
so my dad would always tell us about the rations and stuff. So he was born in 1940. So his first 5 years were during World War II. So his dad, as a single dad with 8 kids,
Yeah.
you didn't throw anything away. You reused it and made it work.
We see it in buildings and everything. We had a bicycle, had solid rubber, not solid rubber tire. It was a rubber tire that was hollow, and it cracked and broke. Well, we just put a corn cob in there and held it together, and then you'd go. But it was a front tire, and if that corn cob would break, then the handlebar would jam, and you'd get her in the belly. But that's got a new corn cob in, and you're ready to go again.
You hope they didn't plant soybeans that year, right?
Yeah. There weren't many soybeans back then. I said, not here in the Midwest. Some of these cars and toys, I said, they're solid cast. There's steel toys.
Steel, there's cast iron, there's tin.
Look at that train set up there.
There's plastic. I mean, so when do you think they started making plastic toys?
40s?
Maybe 60s.
Well, in the 50s, they started making plastic toys. Pre-World War II, or during World War II, like like a Dodge pickup, they had a plastic emblem on their hood. Well, they stopped doing that because,
Broke.
well, no, the rations and stuff, they didn't have the
Oh,
supplies
okay,
anymore.
okay.
So they made out of different things. But so even in the 50s, you had, the 50s and 60s, you start having plastic toys plus the nice steel toys. So this is a tin piece. Here, grab hold of it. You can hold it. We're gonna hold some other ones later on. But it's tin. It's really light, isn't it?
Yeah.
So imagine getting that as a kid. This would be
And
from
not bending it.
this would be from the 20s or early 30s,
Yeah.
20s, 30s.
This thing's 100 and some years old with no problem.
Yep.
And it's still in one piece.
It was
So
a
some-
wind up, right?
That would have been a wind
Yeah.
up of some
Yeah.
sort. Yep.
But you know,
regular
the
wind-up.
children, that maybe was the only toy they had.
Yeah.
So they took care of it.
So a lot of your German toys, we'll see some in there. Between the 2 wars, your clock companies started building toys because they had all the mechanisms winding up. So then they continued. They branched out into the toy market.
There's even a motorcycle stuck in here that didn't, it's a bike.
Well, it's a bicycle made into a motorcycle.
Ah,
It's a bike with
Yep.
and that's the gas can or the gas
Yeah,
tank?
gas
on the
tank.
back?
That's all homemade.
Wow.
Ingenuity.
Yep. So, this is a Hallmark collection of pedal cars. So, if you were here when Dad had all the pedal cars, I'd tell people, I would give them a private tour. I'd say, this one looks like the Cadillac that's sitting over there. And this
Yeah.
looks like the other one that's sitting over there.
This looks like mine sitting upstairs.
All right. So, remember Dad was the expert on pedal cars. I found a box 2 weeks ago in the bottom of the house. One of the Hallmark boxes, empty. Damn. Oh, I'll look inside anyway. I found a little note. It's in the house. And it says, "Thank you, Elmer, for all your help, and couldn't have done this project without you." Signed, a gentleman. So I looked up the gentleman. Well, he's the guy that did the Hallmark stuff.
I'll
Cars.
be-
So Dad must have been directly helping him. It's like, that's why they look like his cars. So some more.
Well, that's why I said everybody seemed to know Elmer. I said he had the time and he could talk to anyone. Just the way they work too. When you paddled them, steering works.
Yep. So it's kind of neat, just weird little stuff you didn't know your dad did.
Yeah, he wasn't the type of person to brag.
No.
He just on to the next job, on to the next job. So I said, I don't know where he could have acquired some of this stuff. I said, you look like this here old train engine. I said, where would you even find one?
So there's more stories.
Okay.
So, your dad would buy toys. Like I said, a handshake, word of mouth. Well, word of mouth got around to other people. Eventually, people started showing up. So up at the station, Dad's float, gas station downtown. in Kansas City.
Yeah.
And Elmer, I got something to show you. And open the trunk up. Here's Dad would get a box of toys. I was around for a couple different ones up here at the museum. So museum day, guy shows up, opens the trunk up, and looks in there, and the guy says, "Is it worth anything, Elmer?" I was like, Dad, look at it. I said, "You got any grandkids?" "Yeah." "Let them play with it." because they're creating new memories of playing with Grandpa's toys because they weren't museum quality pieces.
Yeah.
Next guy shows up, opens the trunk up, and Dad asks him how much you want for it. Yeah, I'd say $700. Fair? You buy a trunk full of toys for $700. Next guy shows up, wants $700 for the trunk full of toys. Dad says, I can't do that. What do you mean you can't do that? I'll give you $1,000. What? Why? Because you have this toy, this toy, and this toy. They're more rare, they're worth more money, and to be fair, that's what your toys are worth. So what that guy do the next morning, or the next few mornings, or week, or month? Every time he went for breakfast, he told all of his buddies. And guess what those guys did?
Start bringing toys.
They showed up with toys too. And then you had the other guy that showed up with toys. He wanted $1,200 for his trunk full of toys. Dad looked at, we're just using $700 for a round number, same thing.
Yeah.
And Dad says, no, that's worth $700. And the guy said, but, sir, you've been watching way too much TV. What you have here is worth $700, for the quality. Either you can leave it or you can, keep it.
And if it has the box, it's worth more.
More.
And I said, like I said, many children, that was the only toy they had, they took care of it.
Yep. And you got board games and
that's what I said, we had no TV. We had checkers and cards as we grew up, because I
There's no
remember there was
video
no
games.
TV. There wasn't, right, Nancy?
Yeah.
There was no TV. I said, we had checkers and cards.
and
The old cap guns, the bad thing, you can't even find the caps no more.
right, here you
No,
go.
probably
And
not.
here's the old backward shooter. Made a little bit different.
Well,
Yeah.
when you open your mouth, sometimes you shoot yourself in the foot. Well,
It's kind of the same principle
principle.
here.
Or I get kids, they never heard it. Different things they don't know. So I said, okay, you ever point at your brother or sister and blame them? So you're pointing at him. He did it. He did it.
Yeah,
Now turn your hand over. How many fingers are pointing back at you? Then they understand what this means.
there you go. Like I said, I remember before it, all the TV shows were Roy Rogers and Lone Ranger, whatever. Another old bicycle frame, I said, but I had a Schwinn, was really a nice one, but I guess it somehow disappeared. Some of the earliest rocking horses I've ever seen.
They're small ones. And then up above, so you have to look, when you're at one side, you look the other direction. It's
Yeah.
full above, all the way up.
Look how old them toys are up there. They gotta be
Right,
from
that's from the teens and 20s, so they're 100 plus years old. And they're built to last. Then you got a spaceship collection, robots.
Yeah, wind up, a lot of this stuff
Right.
made in Japan, but
Yep.
see, with the boxes.
So there's some original ones from the 60s, but most of these are from the 90s or late 90s. They're still almost 30 years
Yeah.
old. And they're still valuable.
Can't find them. Like I said, the amount of work that it took to find this stuff.
So that one winter, the first winter when we were doing the barn, I spent over 300 hours in here myself,
I suppose,
just putting toys out.
cleaning,
And-
straightening, and opening, and
opening up boxes.
got two of those, move this one, move that one.
Every night was Christmas. And eventually it's like, I wish Santa Claus would have bought so many toys. But I found bottles. It's like, well, what do you do with bottles? And I had this cabinet up here. It's like, well, that's going to work perfect for that. Things just laid out like somebody was
Like it's
guiding me.
planned for, yeah. But like I said, to remember to save that stuff, I said, you can't find these old bottles. They said the farm auctions out there are all gone.
Your farm auctions are all online now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, they are.
a lot of
They
it
took
goes to
that
the
social event away.
A lot of the stuff goes to the city dump already because the younger generation, a lot of people do not collect anymore.
Well, how can they?
I think, well, one, I says, they don't seem to have the time. It's got to the point where two people have a hard time making a living. It
Yep.
takes full-time, working full-time, So I says, they don't have time for collections and things like that. But when they get older, they'll be, boy, I wish I saved it. I wish I'd have had it
But younger people, how often do they move?
very often.
Yeah,
Due to
so
the fact of job and
So Dad sold the salvage yard to two of his sons in '92, which I'm one of them. '93, he opened the museum up. like he did for the next 29 years with
Mhm.
everything. But we were never gonna move Dad. We were never gonna move the salvage yard. So you get people that drive through the salvage yard and they're looking, it's like, am I in the wrong place or what? And you think about people nowadays, they move so often, you can't accumulate stuff.
Yeah, it's extra stuff, like it's extra work, but. My uncle had one of these too. After a while, it collapsed, violated, but this one's still holding up.
Hold up good.
What?
I said,
The wasp
it's a
nest?
bee nest, yeah.
Well, it's a
yeah.
wasp
Wasp.
nest. I mean,
Yeah.
Dad,
Yellow
whoever
jacket.
made the sign did the sign incorrectly, said bee. So it's fun watching people, that's not a bee's nest, that's a wasp nest.
Yeah. Yellow jackets live in the ground.
Well, they'll live any place they can make a hole.
But they don't-
That's yellow jackets or
But they
black
don't
hornets,
do
one
that.
or
They
the
don't
other.
make
But I
a
think,
paper nest.
and here's the old garages yet, I said, with the car, the gas station's out front. The old, and all the different board games and marble games and stuff, I says, before our time, Nancy.
Yeah, I'd say.
That's just a couple moons ago.
That's saying a lot.
Well, yeah. And I, racing memorabilia here he has.
Yep.
And things there. The kit cars, I says, I don't know how many things I said we had glue them together, and paint jobs always looked like it was a backyard paint job, but
Okay.
we'd glue them together and more stuff stuck on your finger than putting the wheels in there, but it came out.
And then these are all promo models from dealerships. So you bought your 58 Chevy, they had a model
Yeah,
that
the
looked
one
like,
on-
similar to
online.
that. Yeah.
Look at that. Yeah, and with 57 Chevys, we could buy them for $100 when we were a kid. No, he said you can't buy the headlight for $100.
Oh, you can buy a brand new head, for 57 you can buy everything brand new, out of
Yeah, not that way.
online, yeah.
We had a deer hit our car and the headlight was $500. I said,
That's
remember they're 99 cents at Gamble's.
$500 headlight's pretty cheap nowadays.
Yeah, that's
I need one for my pickup, and it's $1,000. I need a mirror also, it's another grand. It's like, and that's used.
and you know a place where you could probably find one.
I haven't bought one yet, 'cause I'm waiting for one to come in on the truck, so I have to buy it from another yard.
No, I said, there are varieties of toys here. I said, well, it's impossible to look at them all.
All right, so if you turn around, look at the end of the barn. So there's a big banner there, it says from Mecum.
To Meekham's auction, yeah,
Yep, so that would look like in 22. On the left-hand side with the big cars, the green car, and that is up in one of the sheds. So that's how he displayed with the
Yeah, I remember, I was
motorcycles.
up in that
Yep.
shed, yeah.
And the right-hand half is the barn up here.
Oh,
So we're looking the same direction, but that's what it looked like when Dad had it. Afterwards, all that was gone, so we did all this from scratch. And I filled it the same way Dad would fill stuff, I packed it.
And it's still full and
Well,
more to go.
I figured we've sold at least 9,000 pieces. I put out over 11,000 or more.
But
And
like I said, and it was only a matter of maybe, what, 30 years, 40 years, he probably collected it?
yeah, for the toys and stuff.
Yeah.
He got heavier early 90s and then on. He always collected stuff before that, but started out with his big
Yeah,
cars.
it's for his own personal viewing, let's put it that way, but which we see in here.
So these are Redline Hot Wheels.
Yeah,
So back in 67, 8, 9, they had the Redlines, the very first ones were
yeah,
Redlines.
the red ring on a wheel.
On a wheel, yep.
Yeah. It's just amazing, like I said, the people he knew and the stuff he collected, I guess I can't say that enough. I said, the time he took into doing this, and he didn't really do it, like I said, for his own personal thing. It was to share with everyone.
What's fun about it for me, is like you come through, then I had a couple guys showed up on Thursday last week. One guy was 80 some, next guy was 60 some. And so you get different generations. Then I also had another gal that showed up at the same time out of the blue, she was 29. So we had a huge span of different ages. And we were going through and it's like, oh, the older guys, I had this, and a smile on his face because he remembers from his childhood.
Yeah.
And this young gal was like, what's that? What's that? I think that guy in that box looks familiar. You mean Burt Reynolds? Who's Burt Reynolds?
There you
And
go.
then there's the Evil Knievel collection in there. And the older guy, the younger guy, was 60 some, and then myself. I remember watching Evil Knievel on TV with Howard Cosell, And this gal's like, who's Evel Knievel? So you have all the different spans, and it brings back memories for everybody, different memories. Plus it creates new ones. That's what's fun.
I know a little fella, I said, we took him out to lunch and we were down at Champions over there and he was looking at all the football jerseys. And then he seen Reggie White. He says, who was Reggie White? Everybody knows Reggie White. But he did. You know, this makes a picnic table, see?
There we go. That's
So we have a little bit of extra car parts out in yard once in a while, have some time and some energy and some creativity. So this is a 70 Challenger Plum Crazy hood, or so I made it into a table.
Why not?
Yeah, exactly. Why
That's a
not?
great idea. Didn't have it just spilled on us.
Look at all the trophies here.
Oh, so there's another box of trophies. So that is from Tell Ice Racing. You ever heard about the ice racing in Tell?
Mm-hmm.
See where Tell is?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Up 37 up
Right.
just by
Yep.
Elma. So in wintertime they have racing on the ice up there by
Oh.
oh, I never knew
by
that.
Tell, which is a
Yeah.
bar,
Yeah,
basically. And these are all powder puff ones. It's 1970, 71, 70. I don't know how Dad got them, where he got them, but no, it's wheel related, so Dad has them. They're 72.
Huh. Another thing we'll have to do, ice racing up at Tell.
Tell.
Yes, are they still doing it?
No, they haven't done it for a long time.
We don't get enough winter, I suppose.
No.
Well,
Global warming.
let's see, last time I remember they were there was probably mid-90s, so they were still there for quite a while.
Okay, watch us come lawyer and
Yeah, I am.
Brad wants to show us something else.
Okay.
So you gotta forgive me. I'm in the process of getting ready for Saturday, which is our last showing, March 18th. I'm assuming this is gonna be shown after that.
Yeah, yeah.
So this
Yeah.
is gonna be history, because the first week in April there's a auction company called Milestones in the door behind you that's gonna be coming and picking up 3 big truckloads of toys.
Is that what this card?
Yep, that's what open this coming
Okay.
weekend. And so what you're viewing is gonna be history.
That's why we're filming it, because
Yeah.
I seen it on Facebook.
This will still be here though. We're not getting rid of this. So, go ahead and read it.
Oh,
It says,
cool.
hi, I'm Elmer. This prized possession was given to me by my wife and children for my 50th birthday. Card by Leo Smith from Fountain City.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoy your visit. So, this is a piece of wood. He
Yeah,
carved it from scratch.
like the same guy that did the mantle in the house.
House, yeah.
Wow.
And what we did was we stole a Lincoln out of the museum, pedal car, took it down to him. He did all the measurements, copied it, and always wanted to do that because, Dad did have bigger forearms. Not
Yeah,
not
yeah,
as
yeah.
bad as Popeye, but bigger forearms.
Yeah.
The sideburns and the mustache. And
Turned out really well, considering I said it's all out of wood.
Yep.
And like I said, the skills of these older people, I said, this is going to be all lost.
Because there's no excuse for nothing wearing out.
There you
Breaking
go.
is okay, but not worn out. Just
That's
grease,
right.
grease, grease.
I said, I worked in the park for a while too. I said, check the grease and oil. I said, you can always walk back if you're out of gas, but if you don't grease it, look at all the different
Little race cars.
There's a toys, and these are just little race cars. But all these businesses come and go. I said, everything you see usually is for sale once in your lifetime.
Yep.
There's little roll cars up here. I said, a lot of them are pressed steel.
So another thing I'm going to have fun with this coming weekend is when the kids show up, we have,
Oh, neat.
all right, so you guys are at age. Where do you do all of this stuff?
Oh, rhythm band.
When would you do this? What kind of a party? Chivalry?
Yeah.
I suspect it probably was a chivalry business
Yeah.
because I said, or just to irritate your folks.
So I'm going to have a little display set up for the kids when they show up that they can play with whatever they want, make as much noise as they want, and have fun. There's clickers. The whole cabinet's clickers underneath here.
And
Yeah, that's
so I said some of them
crazy
clickers are
pretty
really
fast.
valuable too.
Yeah.
All those clackers, yeah.
We're gonna have fun. We're gonna
Yeah.
make some noise this weekend. Everywhere you look, it's full. Every nook and cranny. There are a couple gaps here and there. It's like this cabinet. After they took the toys out the very first time, I can't reach down there. You have to take the top glass off. And then I'm gonna drop something back in there.
There you go.
Right, so I just left that one. Otherwise, I refilled everything. Just kept on doing like that. I'd open a new box and found some motorcycles, some race cars. You stick them with that type.
These gas engines work, these little engines?
they've been functioning engines. They've been for either boats, airplanes, or
Mhm,
race
mhm.
cars. And the two-cylinder ones are super rare. A lot of people that walk in that know about these. I've never seen one. And there's
Yeah, so you'll see, you know, imitation pieces. That's what I
never
said.
seen one.
These are actually working models. More of the little fresh toys here. I said,
So the museum is, you know, my mom's still with us yet.
mm-hmm.
It's actually her birthday's on the 28th. So she'll be 82. She's got Alzheimer's.
I have a friend with that too. So.
Late stages, so they do everything for her.
Nice.
So, but I found a Mother's Day card that my sister gave to her.
Big as they make them.
Yep, as big as they make them. So you gotta have fun with it, with this. So these are Japanese tin. So when you see the car, so this is built after World War II. They're usually wind up.
Mm-hmm. You give them a push and then the
They
wheel.
go, keep going. So if it looks like a 59, that's what it is. That's when it was built. Looks like a 60, that's when it's built. So whatever looked like kind of car it is, that's exactly when it was built.
We just seen one in Blair, and I and Nancy weren't sure what it was, but we seen a car. I didn't see the taillights. Otherwise, I might have had a guess on it.
Yeah.
There
you
are
get more race
more
cars.
racing cars here.
Cast iron motorcycles, cast iron trucks, and
Now the cast iron is after the tin, huh? Or is it before? There's them little tin toys.
Right.
I think tin toys are first.
so the tins, the ones we looked at, the German penny toys, those were in the teens, early 20s. And these here, according to the date, what's written on this is like 1930s. But there are stuff that was cast iron before that also. So cast iron, tin, and steel, they did them all at the same time, depends on what company.
Yeah.
Like there's a company called Buddy L.
Yeah, I remember
So-
Buddy Elf toys.
When he was an adult, he tried to buy toys for his kids. And couldn't get any decent quality. He said, I could do better. So he decided to make the Buddy L company. And started making toys for his kids. And those toys are heavy duty. They still work today for kids, but they're valuable.
Our neighbor had a Buddy L, or maybe a Buddy Lee, little guy wearing bib overalls.
Okay?
You know, and I remember that as a kid. And his head was cracked.
So when I come to a museum, people ask me, well, what's your favorite piece in here?
Oh boy.
So exactly, that's what I'm saying. It's like, oh boy, okay, I can think about it for a second. Well, I look at this. This is Japanese tin. Everybody's got those. These are cast iron. Everybody's got them. I'd found a box of Valentine cards. So the next question that he asks is like, okay, it really doesn't make any difference what age you are. I've asked 80-year-olds. I've asked 20-year-olds. When you were in elementary, Valentine's Day, did you give cards away to the kids?
Yes, everybody.
Right, everybody did.
Oh, yeah, we exchanged
So-
them in school.
Right. So open it up and show them, and
Look how nice that is.
Yeah.
and then you have three-dimensional ones where it pops out. And almost all of these are signed, and this one in particular is just gorgeous. Has a date on it. February 11th, 1927.
Wow.
This is I think this is neater than the rest of the toys. This is a personal touch.
I said for a piece of paper to last that
Yeah,
long, and
that's
it's not
amazing.
like a put in a book and saved. I mean,
Yeah.
this had to be set in a special drawer. Little license plates here for riding bicycles.
You see,
Little kitchen
Yeah.
stoves.
here's the box. Here's more.
Well, I said he had a fantastic memory on him, but I said maybe he didn't quite remember all of this.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. He had them. Somebody asked about a certain toy. Oh, just go down there. The third cabinet on the right, the fourth one up. You know.
Well, I know that's why he was with car parts.
Yep,
So I
same
said
way.
it's highly possible he was the same way here. But geez,
So in this building, there's only a few cabinets I have not had my hand in and put my touch to it. I kind of tried to copy everything that Dad did.
Mm-hmm.
But this cabinet, I can't get into, so nothing's been ever taken out here because you gotta get the Greyhound collection gone first. So this cabinet is exactly the way Dad had it. This next cabinet is also exactly the way Dad had it. Packed. So that's why I can try to continue doing the same way.
I think I've seen some of them little cars wind up like motorcycles.
Yep.
American Picker, I think Frank was after one
Frank
time.
was a toy person, yep.
Yeah, he was after one of those too one time.
So the other night, I just found these two buses. So these buses have never been out for a museum day. Found 5 more boxes over there with the colorful cars on them.
Mm-hmm.
And I found a box of airplanes. It said airplanes. So I opened the box. It was airplanes still in the original boxes yet too. So I keep on adding more, but
Look at the different styles of buses here. How many?
now she recognized the Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, and there we'd get lost already because see, we weren't into Star Wars. But I remember when these came out. All
So
them Volkswagens.
I found a box of them. This box, I mean, had most of these in it. We started looking at them. This one's smashed in the front, rough. You know, so these were somebody's toys. But as an individual piece, there's nothing much. But
Yeah.
when you start looking at it as a collection and thinking about how much fun that kid had,
That's what I call it. There's Carnival toys, Disney stuff.
Cars?
Really tin toys.
so these are plastic.
Mm-hmm.
So that's still, well, this one's seen better days.
Heavy
Quite
duty
weird.
Tonka now, everything is all plastic or
Even at the
you went
antique
to
stores.
this, you went to this. Children don't play with toys like we had. But we had no TV, there was only radio, and you played cards or checkers or, so you had a toy or two.
And if you're in the marbles, there's just a few marbles out here too. So if you lost them, he collected them.
Well, I never got into dating them things. I mean, there's so many different kinds of marbles, you know, I said, it's phenomenal. I says, trying to remember what kind and the age and whatever else. The toy collection up here is just amazing.